Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Dulcimerica. My name is Futch. Thank you very much for tuning in and joining me for what's going to be a beginner mountain dulcimer player episode. But if you are an intermediate or advanced player, don't go anywhere. There might be some cool fundamentals here for you to brush up on. I'm going to handle some rhythms today and show you how to put some groove into your music. But before I get started with that, I want to give a big old shout out to one of my patrons on Patreon. That's Liz Cox. Liz, thank you very, very much for signing up with Patreon and becoming a part of the art for me. You know, it's really amazing that not only are you helping to produce this program, but you're also helping to upgrade studio stuff, software, hardware. You're also helping to keep me on the road when I'm out there on tour, and you help to fund programs where I get to go to schools and libraries and present music education programs for those places that do not have a budget. You're making a lot of difference, Liz. Thank you very, very much for signing up. So if you're wondering what Patreon is all about, it basically is like a subscription service for musicians. Fans can pledge $5 or more per month, or per MP3, or per video, or whatever they like, however the creator sets this thing up. And then that money goes towards just maintaining things and helping that artist continue to do what they do. My patrons get all kinds of stuff. Starting at $5 per month, you get all of my self-published CDs and books. You get a whole bunch of HD quality versions of Dulcimerica, better than the one you're watching right now on YouTube. And also, you get lots and lots of resource materials for mountain dulcimer, Native American flute, and ukulele, plus behind-the-scenes videos and a lot more than that. So check out my website right down below here, www.patreon.com/bingfutch. Check out the intro video. Download some free stuff by clicking on the open house on the left side of the page. Check out all the reward incentives, and maybe, just maybe, I'll come to your house and cook you a dinner and play you a house concert. All kinds of fun stuff. And I really do appreciate my patrons because they are truly a part of my art and a part of my extended family as well. So we're going to be talking today about making your music groovy, beginners. And one thing that you might have seen on some earlier episodes of Dulcimerica is the cadence that I like to teach using quarter notes, 8 notes, and 16th notes. These are the toolboxes, or the things in the toolbox that are going to become a part of your strum. So the first thing I want to point out as a reminder is make sure you have an awesome pick. I like to use V-picks. I have 2 picks I've helped them develop. One is the V-pick Bing Ultralight, which is what I recommend for mountain dulcimer players. And then there's the Bing V-pick Light, which is a little thicker and it's really, really good for guitars and also for strumming, but not great for, it's good for flat picking, but not good for strumming on the mountain dulcimer. Get the ultralight or get a tremolo like the one that I've got right here. If you can see that, it's a red pick, 1 millimeter in thickness, and it's just about perfect for everything. Also, hold your pick out with your thumb and forefinger right out in front of you like this, and then loosen your thumb and forefinger so you're about to drop that pick, but don't actually drop the pick. And feel how it feels in your fingers. It should be really just, you should barely be able to feel it, and you should not grip your pick any tighter than that. So I'll show you why. If you're strumming and you've got a nice easy grip, the pick will go in the direction it needs to go. If you're grabbing that pick really tightly, you are increasing the surface tension of the pick, and you'll get a brittle sound like this. And you'll want to avoid that. The dulcimer's got a beautiful sound to it, and everything we can do to help it maintain that beautiful sound is super important. So nice light grip, and also don't use any extra wrist action when you're going back and forth, because man, you're just working too hard and putting yourself at risk for small repetitive motor injury, carpal tunnel, all that kind of crazy stuff, or inflaming pre-existing conditions. Just back and forth, the hand should move right around this area near your lower tone holes above the strum hollow is where the sweet spot of the mountain dulcimer is located. We're going to do this cadence now. Basically, you're going to strum outwards. If you're primarily an inward strummer, then strum inwards on the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll take each one of those quarter notes, cut them in half, and end up with 2 8th notes. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, but we have 4 additional beats in the measure, and we're going to name them phonetically. and we'll put ands in there. So when we strum out on the numbers, we'll come back in on and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. Now we'll take each one of those 8 notes and divide them in half to get 2 16th notes. That means in the space of 1 quarter note, we've got 4 16th notes. So with 16 notes in, or 16 beats in the measure, each one of them needs a name so we can refer to them. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4. We have our ands for the 8 notes. Now we're going to add E and A. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. Like this. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. So each one of those beats will have a name. You could talk about the E of 2, the of 4, and get exactly to that rhythm point, that 16th note you're looking for. Put all 3 of these together in a cadence. We're going to have 4, 1 measure of quarter notes, 1 measure of 8 notes, and 1 measure of 16th notes, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Do this with a metronome, slow it way down to about 68, 69 beats per minute, and each one of those clicks will represent 1 quarter note. So you'll have to be patient and wait in between the clicks while you're laying out the 8 notes and the 16th notes. Let's talk about accents here for a second. Not funny accents that Dick Van Dyke used in the original Mary Poppins, but accents like putting emphasis on a particular strum or on a particular note. In this case, we'll put accents in different places on the quarter notes in a measure. Accent on the 1. We're going to play it a little bit louder than everything else in the measure, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Accent on the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Accent on the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Accent on 4 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right. Accents make a whole bunch of difference in just those 4 quarter notes. So you can imagine when you use them along with 8 notes and 16 notes, exactly how much variation you can get when you're playing around with different rhythms. Also, rests are super important. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll put some rests in there. Quarter rests, 8th rests, and 16th rests are all things that we can use to change up our rhythm. So let's do this. Rest on the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Rest on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right, good. So we can use a combination of accents and rests to really make our rhythms change up a bit. So here's a little trick I'm going to show you for basic strums that'll help you put some groove into your performance. What you want to do is you want to do accents on 2 and on 4, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You always hear people talking about if you want to play music that's square, don't snap or clap your hands on 2 and 4, do it on 1 and 3. Why is that? It's just the way that we've been taught in Western music. If we do it on 1 and 3, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sounds kind of like a march, doesn't it? It's very strict, very square, and just sort of boom, boom. It comes down on the downbeat, one foot after the other. But if you want to put some groove into what you're doing, you want to go on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how that music has a bit more bounce to it? Why is that? Because our ears in Western music have been trained to listen to percussion that typically is landing with the snare on the 2 and the 4. The kick drum would be 1 and 3, and the snare would be 2 and 4. Boom, ta, boom, ta, boom, ta, boom, ta. And those would be called afterbeats, kind of, sort of, in 4/4 time. In 2/4 time, they would be right on the beat. But nonetheless, it's that snare that's really got us moving. Sometimes you don't even have to have the kick. As long as you've got something that's propelling you through the measure on 2 and 4, that's going to put some groove into your music. So let's try this. Many of you probably have learned Boil Them Cabbage Down. It's the Mountain Dulcimer national anthem. If you play it straight through without any accents of any sort, it'll sound like this. Now, while using your right hand to strum, and I always go by the rule of 1 strum per melody note, unless you're doing some fill-in rhythms. And when you do your fill-in rhythms, as I've mentioned before in earlier podcasts, you want to do your fill-in rhythms on every string except for the melody string that has the melody that needs to sustain or decay naturally. That keeps us from adding additional beats into the melody and rendering it unrecognizable. So if I want to put some additional fill-in rhythms in there, I'll do them on the bass string and on the middle string. Now I did a little bit there. I tried to restrain back from doing the 2/4 thing too much because I wanted to just have you pay attention to the selective strumming thing. But let me go ahead and put the emphasis on that 2 and 4. Just playing beats 2 and 4 louder with my right hand, and watch what it does to Boil Them Cabbage. Got a little groove to it, and you can do that with any song that you're playing, any song at all, especially the fiddle tunes, you know. If you're doing a spotted pony, you know, instead of playing it straight, lay on that heaviness in the accents with 2 and 4. Old Joe Clark. You can make it subtle or you can make it really, really over the top, but it's going to give you really, really awesome groove when you are working with your rhythms down here. Now, a lot of the rhythms are coming out of a 16-note cluster. So you'll notice that my right hand is really moving the whole time. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm actually playing 16th notes all the time. Sometimes I hit a big accent and then my hand doesn't touch the strings. It may still be moving, but not touching the strings, like this. Sometimes I hit one note and let it hang out there, and then maybe come over on the bass string and do a little. That's all coming out of 16th notes with the right hand. And instead of stopping and starting my hand too much, I like to keep that motor running. Keep that motor running so that anytime you can lay the pick down onto the strings and get what you're looking for. Not even touching the strings, but I can pull whole notes out of it, or and what I like to do with the accent sometimes is when I make an accent louder, I like to take the other notes that are not being accented and make them softer, sometimes even non-existent, so quiet that you're just focusing on that accent. I'll slow that down for you so you can see what's going on here. Those are just 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. But it's the accents I'm using. The ideal thing here is you know that you're not going to be doing a whole much more rhythmic wise than your quarter notes, your eighth notes, and your 16th notes, occasional half notes and whole notes to put emphasis on passages. But you're not going to start getting into anything more sophisticated than that. If you just practice how you play the quarter, 8th, and 16th notes and play them consistently at all different types of tempos, you'll be able to pull from that toolbox whenever you want to. Throw in your accents, throw in your rests, throw in some muting so you can get some nice quiet stops happening. The right hand palm mute is good for that. Take the heel of your hand and lay it down on your bridge. Roll that hand forward so you get a nice chunking, thunking sound when you play. You can use this to stop notes, you can use this to mute notes and give them a different flavor. Sometimes it's great to get a little silence in there into the mix as well. So practice your quarter notes, your 8th notes, and your 16th notes in a 3-measured cadence, 68, 69 beats per minute. Put your accents on 2 and 4 when you want to put some groove into a tune. Sometimes the tune may call for something more march-like and you want to come down on 1 and 3. It's little tricks like that that'll help bring your music to life and give you a lot of enjoyment while you're playing it as well. Thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. I have a lot more coming just around the corner, so don't miss a single episode of Dulcimerica. I've got something for everybody, and once again, I do thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, my friends, this is Futch saying, play on, baby, play on. way over here. Does anybody know what my t-shirt means? How many sci-fi geeks do we have out there? It's a very special t-shirt for a very special man.